does.
If he dies, he dies.
And he makes good pies.
Yes.
Well, you see, we have to make it quick. We don't want to have a long ass intro to start the show. So that's why I put a little
Just make
clip
the
right
normal
there.
intro. Fuck it.
Josh,
man.
doesn't
Don't
it
like
itch
waste more
when
Yeah,
you
time.
that's more than normal. It's like 3 seconds. Come
When
on,
you cough,
like people
doesn't
don't
it
have to
itch?
wait.
So you can start. We are here wasting time.
Is
we
this
could
supposed
do-
to be our start? Like we're
Are
all
we
just
live?
talking about random garbage? Like, hi
This
everyone,
is
how are
the
you
start.
tonight?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see
really?
that.
I like to put
Yeah.
everyone on the spot.
Jesus.
It's Friday.
Jesus.
Says it right there.
It's all right. Let's act up now that
Oh,
we
I thought
are
that said live. And
guys.
I'm
Please
just
follow the
accelerating.
script. Please follow the script and follow my lead. Okay, you have to agree
I
with me.
love Man of Hot Collectibles.
Thank you.
His
That's
I
right.
reviews
love
are
him
the
so
Thank
best.
you. Easy.
He
Thank
is
you very
my
much.
friend, and
Get
I
his
like
merch.
him very much.
Down
Exactly.
below, it smells of Peruvian llamas.
Who gave you that rag?
Okay, I'll stop. That was a bad joke.
All right.
I said it.
So
in my head,
let's start the show. And hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Collectors Night. And as you can see, we have a beautiful panel.
Yep,
we have a
Desi's
beautiful
happy.
panel tonight. We're waiting for
That's question.
Eris coming anytime soon. We have Chupapi in the house. It's been what, like 4 years since you showed up
Been
in
a
my
long
last
time.
show?
I haven't been on here for a long time. It's
Since
been a long
99.
time since long time. Desi's really happy to see me. Good boy, Desi. Smile.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's been a long time, my friend. So I know you're a very busy man. You know.
I had to do that.
All right, so let me move on to my friend BIGBREDA in the house. What's up, my friend?
Big boy.
I'm not in that side. I'm on the other side. Okay.
He's this side.
How you
Yeah.
doing, my friend?
I'm fine. Nice to be here again on a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning?
Let's talk. Yeah, Saturday morning for me. Friday evening for you. Yeah.
I'm
let's go.
surprised.
You're surprised.
It's
Why?
Friday.
I'm surprised you're not drinking coffee. Because usually
No,
you're
actually,
like with a little
I'm having this beautiful
Perrier.
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 Oh, so you're fancy now? Is that what you're
Yeah.
trying to say? You're better than us?
Have you
This
seen
is
anybody
the
try to stick
cheapest
that
water
bottle
I
to-
can
What, the
find
fridge
here.
water's not good enough for you? You got to get a Perrier?
Perrier.
I
Is that
called it
so?
Perrier for the longest time.
I can't drink from this garbage.
Oh God. And of course, we have my friend, Mr. Josh, almost naked here, showing the guns right there.
It's a tank. I come on every show with a tank top.
I would like to smell that shirt. You know, I met him at the con, and man, you watch
That's
the
the
video,
Old
I tried-
Spice, the Old Spice smell.
He's a good man.
I don't wear it. I don't wear cologne. I'm sorry.
He has his own
It's
body
a-
musk.
it's
It's
a-
a
I
Middle
have my own
Eastern
musk.
trait. Middle Eastern trait.
Musk by Josh.
Musk by Joss. It's a must.
It's a buzz. And of course, my friend, we have Desi from Metamorphic Customs. Hello, sir.
Hello. I feel like it's going to be a good night if my internet connection holds up.
Oh man.
Sounds like a fun night. Let's.
You have a
let's
really
hope so.
clean cut
Think?
goatee.
Thank you,
We've-
sir.
We have all this, and we're still waiting for Aries, who should be joining us anytime soon. So I have a feeling that this is gonna be a crazy show, man. I just have a feeling, and we have a lot to talk too. I mean, there's a lot of things happening. Some releases, some announcements, some controversial announcements,
Disappointments.
disappointments, happiness,
sadness.
sadness, and the market changing, not changing. Is it possible? Is it not possible? But that's why we have Josh here, because he's going to give us an insight from the retail perspective, from the distributor perspective, and then, just talk it out, man. And of course, as you know,
Did you
this is
see?
how-
Did you check that on Instagram the Pornhub account was deleted?
Oh, for real?
What?
Yeah, they
Why?
deleted the Pornhub account from there.
What?
Why?
Where did? Whoa! Wait! Whoa! What a
What?
segue! What are you talking about?
Why?
It's Friday night, right?
But this guy went from
Wait, but what
toys
is-
to other toys.
What does a Pornhub account have to do with any?
It's Friday night,
collectibles?
Joel, but you came all the way from Monday.
Well, but are you guys not going to question how does he know this thing? Like, he's
Because-
actually following up this
Because
website?
I read news.
I don't know.
Oh,
What's
you
the
really
big
wanted to
news?
check and nothing is happening.
yeah, forget Queen Elizabeth. Pornhub gets deleted.
Oh God.
Oh, right.
This guy.
We
Well,
are-
this
we
is
try
this is
now.
I'm
This is-
extremely confused.
we
It's
all
okay.
are. But this is how we start with between collectors now. Collectors night. Wrong one.
This is lagging hard.
Yeah,
Of course, you need to
I saw
blame me
that.
for that.
there was some lag to that.
Really?
Yeah, a
That
little
bad?
bit.
Is the
That's
connection
okay.
that bad?
Look, we lost someone. It hurt so
It
bad.
was lagging so much
I'm
that
not sure if we lost
Desi
one or we didn't.
Desi decided to leave. He's like, no, I can't do this anymore.
As he was like, that was too much lag for me. This is unprofessional.
Have you
This
guys
is-
ever licked your top lip and then like 30 seconds later try to smell it?
What?
No. that was more out of pocket than the porn.
Yeah, I know.
Try it
Oh
though.
man, just imagine if we have some
Smell
drinks on
vanilla.
us, right? Well, I
Huh?
just had a few drinks before this, but anyway. Let me say hi to the people in the chat before we start the conversation. I want to say hi to Denise Perez in the house.
Dennis.
Some guy, Dennis. Sorry, no Denise.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Denise.
Oh my God. Some
Sorry,
guy in the
Denise.
house. We have Peyton 23, CN
Where's your manager?
Louis Livitz in the house, 12-inch.
What? Moose Dream?
Moose Dream.
What is that even?
It's Popsic in the house, member of the channel. Thank you so much, friend. It's Popsic again. I miss you, Easy. Everyone miss Easy.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
I
his
like
name
how
now.
Joel's like
His name is Chupapi now. He's no longer Easy. We have Zeno in the house. David Lush. We have the insane one, Ash Chase. Bob Dylan, as always. Thank you so much, my friend, for showing up.
you mean
We have
Ashley.
Velin here. Good evening, Collectors. We have it's Popsic. You know what? This guy loves like a Vanta, man. We have to give him like a
Jeez.
Vanta.
Oh.
But I don't have any. Wait, I think I don't have any more glyphs left on this one. Oh, I have one. I have one.
Like a panther. Yes. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Like a panther. Like a panther. Like a panther. Like a panther.
How did my father die?
Was that supposed to be in there?
That was great. I don't care if it was supposed to be. That was
So random.
Mwah.
It's-
that was excellent.
Alex She.
Like, who killed my
Shia?
parents?
She. We have
Shay.
1-6 Shape. Hello, everyone. How you doing, sir? We have my Nightbot doing its work as it was hired for. We
Really?
have Comic Concepts with the little heart. We have Calvin Williams II. Good evening, everyone. How you doing, my friend Bugman? We have Mark Attack. We have Brandon Oldman. Friday Night Raw. Hell yeah, my friend.
That's
We
what they
have
call me.
Amber Razy. I'm here for easy. Amber, come on.
Thanks.
But thank you. No, thanks for stopping by. We have Pablo in the house. What's up, my friend? We have Good for Health. What's up, sir? We have OG, member of the channel when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Good evening.
You know,
Good evening
YouTube account names
to you.
so much about a person.
I know. We have Jose in the house. What's the deal with the Amazing Spider-Man figures? Is it never going on pre-order? We're gonna talk about that. Austin, how you doing, my friend? We have Dux Mizzle in the house. Josh, have the winners been announced yet?
I'm good. How are you? Is anyone going to ask how I'm doing?
Fantastic. Amazing.
Shut up.
Great. Yo, what's going on with the market, man? What's going on with that? I want to start with that so we can start talking about figures. But we've seen what's been happening lately, right? With stuff going to waitlist, stuff selling out quicker. It's a lot of things going on, and people asking me, is this the pattern? Is this going to continue? What to expect? We spoke about on Tuesday about who has the control, and we said it. The control is on the distributors, on the sellers, right now, because they're the ones pretty much putting their chips on the table to get the figures. But I want to go straight to Josh because I think this is a topic that everyone is asking. Should we Be worried?
Yes. So I've been saying this for the past year, and everyone was like, "No, that's not true. Nah, Josh doesn't know what he's talking about."
Josh
Oh, never day one pre-order. Look at the figures. Look what's happening. Well, look what's happening. So Hot Toys decided not to do anything about the issue at hand because they were making hand over fist over all the purchases being made, all the support they got from Toys Wonderland and whoever they were buying from, all of North America. You know, they wanted their cake and they had their cake and they ate it too, right? And lo and behold, I said it 6 months ago that we were done investing in Hot Toys, or at least I was. Now,
so let me interrupt you right there. When you say stop investing, what does that mean?
So it means when we initially did Hot Toys, I would order a few for the orders that came in, and then I'd order like triple that so that we would have some over the year to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality of the situation is here we are, bunch of figures releasing, Toys Wonderland completely unchecked. I'm just going to say it. We know who it is because it's already been announced by Hot Toys. And they went completely unchecked. They killed the market. They were able to do it. They acted as a distributor, not a reseller. Anyone who's still defending them as a reseller, there's no logic with you. I'm sorry. And the reality of the situation, and I'm not saying don't buy from Toys Wonderland. That's not what I just said. But you can't call them a reseller if they are literally sending out distribution applications to people and offering a wholesale program. That's a distributorship, and that's extremely illegal. So the reality of the situation is now that all these figures are coming in and they're not worth anything, I'm not going to invest in future Hot Toys. I'm not ordering extra for people. I'm ordering what people order, and then I'm cutting off pre-orders because the amount of inventory I'm sitting on is not worth the profit that I could maybe make.
Your margins are just going.
Yeah. So myself and obviously many other retailers, let's be real, we know who they are, but I can't mention them, are done. We're not going to invest in those figures. Or I'm going to say I'm not going to invest in those figures. And it looks like all those others have followed suit based on the wait lists that are now occurring a year in advance.
Everybody, I mean, most people even on this panel, you would ask them, did you pre-order the latest figures?
No.
No.
And I'm not going to order either. I'm not going to invest in a company that didn't want to protect their own figures. Because the reality is they've tanked in value, they overproduced, and that's not a collectible. That's not a collectible. That's just something that's just on the shelf for years until it sells.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm not interested. And believe it or not, retailers are still king when it comes to what your stock is going to be.
Right. But quick question. So what you said makes sense, right? You don't want to have that stock. And we spoke about this as well. But I guess the question is this, I mean, obviously if you're doing it, most likely Sideshow is doing it, and most likely others authorized,
well, I can't say who, but you've seen people selling out left and right. We're waitlisting
so there's a pattern right there, right? So yeah. It is possible. Again, you're right. We cannot kind of speak for them because, we don't know how they do their business, and whatever they do is what they do, right? We just cannot assume that, that seems to be the pattern.
Yeah, I mean, here's the reality. You've seen Hot Toys make a much larger effort to make quality products and update their stuff because they're starting to receive competition. Whether it is actual matched competition or not is yet to be determined. But the reality is they are not doing well. I guarantee it. Because if any of the wait lists we've been seeing are true, they are not doing well. They are not getting the money they thought they were going to continue to get during COVID.
Do you think
That's
another
reality.
sign of them not doing well is constantly doing reissues of figures that
Yes.
we've constantly been seeing, and they're just doing them over and over just to get back to their margins so they can come up to make new,
I think they're taking stock that they couldn't push, and they're just like taking the cape off, let's say, for Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. I mean, it's not hard when you already have the product. I think they're just not doing super great because, again, I'm not investing them in them, and I would assume other markets are not. There's no reason to invest in a company that claims they're selling collectibles, but they're not. They're not really limited anymore. They're
That's a
not.
good point. But before you continue with your point, Senor, I want to say hi to my friend Eric, Six Cut Cantina, joining the talk here.
Hey,
What's up,
Yeah,
boys?
it's been a while, man. Let's kind of like a proper applause,
Whoa.
you know.
Whoa! It's like Hollywood Hogan, baby.
You see, everyone is like clapping for you, even the kids.
Never Robert.
Even the kids.
Come on.
Jesus.
Yes, I got
A
plenty of
wizard
them.
is
Thank you.
never late.
Thank you. He arrives precisely when he means to.
No, it's been a while. You see, it's a special night because Easy pretty much came back from the death.
From the dead.
after
Mm.
Easy, you're there. Easy. Company
I'm alive.
Collectibles. What's
I'm
up?
alive.
From the Sarlacc pit.
for the Sarlacc pit. It's kind of like Boba Fett.
Hey.
It's like a bantha.
I went back into the Starlucky.
How many times did Boba Fett say, was left for dead on the sands of Tatooine? This character, that character, this character, that character. If you
anybody
die on
watched-
Tatooine, you will come back to life.
Has anybody watched Rings of Power?
Yes.
I love it.
I haven't yet.
Fantastic.
I love
And
it.
watching
did
Cobra
anyone
Kai.
watch the? Did anyone watch that behind the scenes of Obi-Wan that was
Nope.
yesterday? Go to
No.
Disney Plus.
Not-
It's really
not
good.
yet. Is it?
No, I didn't see that.
I have to
Yeah,
watch
it's the
that
behind
one.
the scenes from Obi-Wan. It's 1 hour.
They probably just show Hayden Christensen walking around in a Vader suit for like 1 hour.
No, it's actually really good. It's actually really good. It's worth to watch. It's worth
Alright.
to watch.
Let me say hi to two very special people. We have Mr. Costa in the house, Pop Culture Living Room. How you doing, sir? Thank you so much for stopping by. I know that this guy's been very busy, man. He has a lot of things happening right now, and hopefully he can show it. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to spoil it, so make sure you subscribe to his channel. And of course, Mr. Denovi in the house. 10 points given to Big Brother for the Back to the Future t-shirt, minus 10 points for Chupapi. Oh,
When
thanks,
you-
man.
Wait,
If I
Kenobi, I
remember-
don't get no points for the Dodgers? Come on, man.
No points for the Dodgers? Come on, man. Yeah, that's right. No points. Looks
EA
like.
Sports. That's all.
But-
Sports. It's a
But anyway, I wanted to acknowledge these two people. But before I continue with the chat, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to all my friends' channels. Everything on the link down below. So, Josh, you can continue your point because I want to go to the panel to hear their thoughts about what's going on with the market. So you make a good point that now in your case you're not investing as much in Hatu, so that means that you're gonna have pretty much very limited
Yeah, we're already
amount
selling
of
out.
Hot
You,
Toys.
you sniped what? Did you snipe the last bat cycle? Or the bat? Yeah, bat cycle.
No, I snapped the last Dark Trooper.
yes.
The very
Yeah, I'm not going to be pre-ordering as much as we did because I can put that money elsewhere from a business standpoint. I'd much rather purchase 5 Prime 1 Studio statues that are going to have an edition size of 500 than buy 30 to 40 Hot Toys because I know those Prime 1 statues are eventually going to sell out.
It's
versus
funny because Prime 1 just dipped their toes into the reissue market.
yeah, and it's not going well. It's not
That-
going well.
That
I
kind
didn't
of
say which Prime 1 statue. I
Yeah,
still watch that. You can't just buy a Prime 1 statue and be like, this is definitely going to sell.
I'm getting that one though. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. It depends on the piece. Like Berserker Armor Bloody variant, of course. People missed out. They're aiming for the resale market. But yeah. I mean, going back to the Hot Toys, I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only retailer not investing going forward. And I really like Hot Toys product. I'm not poo-pooing their product quality. But to me, a collectible is something that not only adds to your collection and is nice looking, and it's a character you want, it has value. And when I buy a figure at $270 that now sells for $180, that's just an action figure you bought at a retail store that's
Right.
now used.
Mhm.
You can like it, but that's not collectible if it devalues.
They basically ruined their own economy. Like they had a good economic system going there for a while in the start. And then, we've seen them release this awesome line of stuff. And then all of a sudden we start seeing reissue. And you guys remember, I've been making reissue videos for a while. Like, why did they reissue? And then people are like, oh, people didn't get a chance.
It's like, okay,
Third Mark V. If you didn't get your chance,
You
don't
lost.
get your chance with
You lost.
collectibles. That's the point. You go in the aftermarket, you learn, you get burnt, and
and
that's
that's the
move
economy.
forward.
That's the economy. They destroyed their economic structure so bad that them as a company, like, I don't see how they can last.
They
Well,
can
that's-
last, but they have to do some severe changes, and they're going to scramble this year pretty bad.
That
They're gonna
or
hurt
Queen
this year.
Studios InArt secretly owns them and crushing them down, and then they're bringing up their product. You think about
So
it.
I
Tin
think
hat.
there's a
We
lot
still
of
need an in-art release.
I
Tin
think
hat.
there's a lot of things to take into account. So I'm gonna go to jump to Aries on this one here because you know
Yeah.
he followed the market very closely. You know, Star Wars now Marvel and all that. So there's been some changes, and that's a fact, right? We can see that. So Aries, do you think that now that we have InArt coming into the 1/6 world plus a bunch of other third party companies making figures that maybe Hot Toys didn't do in the past, but now they're doing it? Do you think that also has to do with what's going on with the market? That we see this, you know, now few figures going on waitlist. Yes, they're not the legacy characters per se, but you know, it could be a sign. What do you think?
No, well, first, thanks for having me on. And again, hi, everybody. So I'm trying to catch up on the conversation. So I hope I'm not too, discoherent or,
No,
not
not at all.
coming in. I have some thoughts on what's going on. As far as InArt, I think it's, number one, it's exciting to see another company, stepping up. That Joker looks fantastic. The Batman looks fantastic. I think that, you already have a company out there like Damn Toys, with the Godfather stuff that looks fantastic. I think there's going to probably be other companies that are going to be coming up as well. Honestly, I think that it's something that Hot Toys not only needs to be aware of, is 1,000% aware of that's coming up behind them. There's a lot of excitement. On the same token, too, I feel like there's nothing out yet. There's like 4 figures coming out next year. We haven't seen a final figure. Hot Toys has hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds and a couple of decades under their belt. That being said, I don't really feel it's having an impact for me personally. And I know for a lot of other collectors. I don't collect Batman, even though I love Batman. And the Christian Bale series is actually
Dante,
one of my most favorite, movies and trilogy of all
Hold
time.
that comment there.
Hold it. Okay, go ahead.
No,
I'm
you can
talking-
continue.
okay.
You can continue.
Sorry.
So for me, for me personally, there's nothing that they're coming out with I'm excited about, except I'm excited for the community that they're excited about Batman. But I'm kind of over that Batman trilogy for me. That being said, I think that they're going to come out with some figures. They'll come out with more. Hopefully, other companies will come out with more. Maybe there's companies like Damn Toys or Asmus that will come out with more as well. And I think the competition is good. That being said, what's going on with Hot Toys right now, and I've been saying it since this is happening with some of these low stock warnings, I feel like we are in the midst of a market eclipse. Seriously. Because right now you're seeing these low stock warnings. You're seeing stuff go on waitlist. We've all kind of paused. It's kind of like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And you're just like, well, wait a minute. Do I need to start pre-ordering again? Or is this just BS like IG-11? Do I need to get goobers or Raisinets when I go into this movie, or should I get the large popcorn? Any of that stuff. That was for you, Easy. Thinking through, we're kind of paused for a moment because what's going on in the market and it was a huge problem for a Sideshow, which also means it's a problem for Hot Toys, has been the conversation this year has been, you don't have to pre-order anymore because these are going to get in stock. Not only are these going to get in stock, in some cases, it's cheaper overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it cheaper overseas, but when it gets in stock, wait about 6 months or a year, and you're going to get a coupon. And you could use the coupon. On top of that, you could wait another year, and it's going to be in the bargain bin. And this is 1,000% accurate, which is why it's being talked about. The thing that I want to point out here, what's going on in the market, is unless they have their head up their butts, they are also having these conversations. that you're seeing all these other channels having in their boardrooms. And when they're discussing these with their accountants and the representatives of Hot Toys, they're absolutely doing it. So when we're seeing some of these things in this market eclipse, I believe that it is because they are making adjustments to counteract that, theology.
It's kind of
we
like
don't got to pre-order anymore. They want people to pre-order again.
It's kind of like a recession.
And we're in. I believe you're right, Easy. I believe that we're kind of in.
Now,
I have
a total global recession.
Global, as a company as well.
But let me ask you.
But let me just finish this one point here. Here's one very simple solution. It's one of the oldest stories of the book. For every action, there is an equal and opposing reaction. A very smart guy named Albert Einstein said this.
Who's that?
When you have low supply, you have high demand. When you have low demand, so what happens with low supply? What is the opposite reaction? That's what they're trying to do.
Now, let me ask you this question for everyone. Do you think, because of what happened, right, that we assume, okay, yeah, don't pre-order because, we're going to have, and I'm including myself because I said it many times as well, honestly, no need to pre-order because it's going to be in stock. I said it many times. I'm not going to deny that. And many of us said it. Now, do you think we kind of underestimated the fact that we're not really in control, but they are in control, that they can actually say, you know what? We don't have the same amount of pre-orders, so why should I put more money into this? Let's just order one case of figures and that's it. And if he's sold out, he's sold out. If he dies, he dies. What do you think that could be also as well? That we underestimated that?
I think that they underestimated us. I think, again, for every action, there's an equal and opposing reaction. I think that we had a lot of control. We stopped pre-ordering, right? Josh is saying he's ordering less figures even for his stores. There's competition from the Hog resellers, other comic shops here in the United. I mean, I think we had a lot of stuff. If Josh is ordering less, then he's in control. Sideshow's not in control. Hot Toys not in control. They're trying to take control back. How do you take control back? Lower supply equals what? A high
demand, right? Period. Because people are going to be, looking for that figure. But Joe, I want to hear your perspective on this one before we address the comment from my friend Besker Kid.
No, I still think that in some way Disney must pressure Hot Toys to do some quantity, right? Because Disney will not allow Hot Toys to do their products, their licenses only for one batch, because Disney is in it for the money. They own the licenses, right?
They're already getting paid.
I don't know if Josh has any insights about this, but if Disney does have a minimum quantity Hot Toys must produce in order to do the licenses from their characters and actors. I don't know if there's something related with this. That's maybe the reason why there were so much Endgame and Infinity War figures going around. But anyway, I think the market is trying to stabilize. At least here, I saw from the last releases, I would say the Dark Trooper, Cable, they were all one batch only. While when you compare, for example, with the Batman vs Superman, there were 13 batches, and the Dark Knight, the DX19, there was 21 or 20 batches of that figures. So less people pre-ordering. The distributors are not holding stock over year two because they are afraid, because they know the prices will go down very fast and they are going to lose money. And they were already beaten with the Infinity War and Endgame figures. So everyone now is holding back, just ordering the number of pre-orders they have, and that's it. And I think this is a trend that will keep going on. And after that, you saw Hot Toys now doing these, for example, the Spider-Man, that is a D23 release only. It will not be available everywhere. And other changes that repainted Boba Fett, that people in North America already have it in hands, and Hong Kong is not released yet. So there are a lot of changes going around here.
Slowly.
I don't remember the last
Slowly.
time. I
I
don't
mean, that
remember the
says
last
something
time.
right there.
Yeah, I think the Death Watch was one of those cases. People start getting Death Watch sooner. Actually, people start getting it, and then it was released in Hong Kong. So that's a sign right there. So
That's
I mean,
a sign maybe they want to change.
it's
I'm
always.
sure
Can you
Sideshow
imagine?
renegotiated because
Can you
again,
imagine how many months Hot Toys had the Boba repainted already done and is holding until Sideshow gets the shipment there? It's been months because
Mhm.
it takes a lot of time for the shipments to arrive there in the current situation. So Hot Toys is doing this agreement with Sideshow. Let's try it out because Sideshow, you already know what's been happening with them and Toys Wonderland. So
Right. So they're gonna continue testing and see what sticks, I guess. And Izzy, I want to hear your thoughts. Thank you. So now we can move on. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I mean, this is a comment that I've constantly seen on so many of my vids when I make reissue issues. Is don't worry about it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you like it, buy it. Cool. But do you understand like how they are manipulating this economic market that we're in that's killing off a lot of collectors, which means they're going to be killing off a lot of pre-orders, which means they're not going to be releasing, as much or whatever we want. Like, I feel like there's a whole system of, like Aries was saying, you create that demand, you're going to get your customer base. And them releasing like a Mark V for the third time, who else is out there? Like, who else didn't order a Mark V? Like, they're literally going out to the crowd. Who else? Anybody else? Anyone else?
There's some aliens there's some aliens from another solar system, I think, that
probably missed the pre-order.
yeah.
But you know what? Maybe I'm gonna be the bad apple here. But I agree with Beskar Kid. Like if we really shouldn't be worried about the actual value if we like something, right? Because at the end of the day, if you love it, you love it, right?
But that again, if you don't worry about the value, you'll be stuck with dead stock. How do you feel if you're going to sell your car?
No. But it's different. We talk about collectibles. We're not talking about stores. That's the keyword right there.
I want to address this because I'm a retailer and a collector. Okay, here's the reality of the situation.
Capitalism.
Beskar's not wrong. He's not wrong. You shouldn't really worry too much about the value of a collectible that you desperately love. However, collectibles, the reason the market exists is because we are making a museum of our memories.
Mm-hmm.
We buy the things that make us feel good when we look at it or brought about an exciting moment in your life. For me, sometimes it's exciting to find something that's rare and you also love it. That makes it even more valuable to you. Maybe not necessarily to others, but to you, it's an exciting thing, and that's exciting in collecting.
And not to forget, that was Hot Toys' premise. That was their standard. And to see them, like I just saw in a comment, the Mark V went from Grail to Snail by Bob Dylan. It literally, like, your collection went from Grails to Snails, like Nightmare Batman again, Mark V again. How many Mark 85s are we getting? How many Spider-Mans are we getting? But we're getting.
Let me finish my point really quick. So I want to circle back around. So these are our memories, right? These are memories. These are exciting. When I have something special and exciting in my collection of a character I love, and someone says, well, we're going to re-release it again to more people. And guess what? That piece that you paid for, that you paid $270 for, is now going to be worth $200. That puts a sour taste in my mouth, and that shits on the memory of my collectible and owning that.
And
I don't want that anymore because every time I look at it, I'm going to think that, oh, well, other people got it cheaper than me because I was a dumbass and got it day one.
And it's proven that this is screwed up. It's a fact because as soon as you see a reissue, how many times do you see that same figure go up for sale? Because people just start dumping it because it ruins
your interest in it. I'm not saying you hate the character or you hate the collectible. It just doesn't feel. It shits on the special moment you had when getting that.
And I think that's a deep part of collecting. Once you've gotten to that point, I feel like it's a very deep point, which a lot of people, I mean, some people have hundreds of figures and they still don't give a damn, release it or not, whatever. And then there's it's just what side of collecting you're in, and I really feel the majority is the passionate collectors, because every time you see a reissue, people get mad, people get frustrated, they demand other figures. Just go on the comment section in the Facebook or Instagram posts of Hot Toys. People are pissed off, and that's the majority. That's all you see. And as soon as a figure goes for reissue, you see all kinds of sales going on. Like, people are just dumping, purging. How many posts are you seeing of people purging their whole collection? People are leaving the hobby. I am on the brink of leaving the hobby, thanks to Josh and his enabling me of getting statues at Comic Concepts. I'm leaving the hobby because statues have that promise. Like, they're statues. Like, they're not going to be reissuing these bad boys.
There's an edition number.
There's edition numbers. We have numbers. We never see edition numbers on Hot Toys. They could have made 10,000 at Mark V.
But that can change, though. That can change. They can still make stuff limited to attract, you know.
But there has to be a correction in the market first.
Yeah. And
because, again, when it comes down to it, the people that sell you your collectibles are not collectors. They're businessmen. They don't give a shit. They just care about the numbers. And when the numbers look like they do today, I'm not buying shit.
Not even
That's the reality. Sorry for cursing. I mean,
Shit,
I love the pieces. Like, I collect. I do.
You guys are the subject matter experts on this. I mean, you guys been collecting for so long. I mean, I think all of us have been collecting for years.
After every reissue, people will say XYZ. That's because where's Mace Windu? And when Hot Toys was supposed to make the Joker, how did they not make the Joker as their next DX? Of course, we're going to ask, where's XYZ when you bring out another 20th Spider-Man? And everybody expected the Joker, which is kind of weird that InArt came out with a Joker. Mm-hmm. So that leads me to think, like, Hot Toys, are you and InArt kind of in the same boat, sister company hiding behind the curtains? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. But
this comment is actually pretty interesting. Commander Crook says, this hobby used to be an elite type of collecting, right? Due to the huge growth of the 6-scale collectors, is no longer elite. It's become mainstream, just like any other retail action figure. He has some, this comment has some truth in it, because now the more, let me start with Joao. We've seen many collectors coming into the game, right? At the same time, we see many collectors leaving, so it's always kind of like a circle coming, right? People comes in, people leaves. This comment, actually, I do agree with this comment. Do you?
I would not say elite. Elite, I would give maybe for the high-end statues.
Well,
Hot Toys was about like the middle level, middle high-end level. But yeah, it's true that was before, right? I think once you got those huge movies, the Infinite War and Endgame, there were a lot of people that entered in the collecting Hot Toys together with the pandemic and so on, because many people staying home, nothing to do. They go to YouTube, start to search for new hobbies. Many people enter during that time. Some still here, some go. Over the years, we saw people coming and go, right? So it's normal, like in every hobby. It's normal that this happens. But I still not considering Hot Toys like just another retail action figure. I still hold them.
Consider them Marvel Legends.
I would not say that. I still hold them in a higher level.
They still have quality.
How many Spider-Man figures?
No, but I think the comment is not aimed to quality. It's aimed to popularity.
We cannot talk about. Yeah, we are not talking about quality. We are talking about like price, price, and the value that it retains within the market. That at this moment is almost none, right? With the comment of Best Car Kid, it's like, I don't care how much you pay for it. You don't need to care how much you pay for a figure if you love it. But for example, Moff Gideon, I paid $240 or $250 for it, and now I can get it at stock for $140. Do you think I don't care? Of course I care, because
it's a ripoff.
If I would wait, I could get it for $100 cheaper.
Right.
And if this
You were
happens
cheated
with
out of your
350,
money for the same exact product, basically.
And that
Exactly.
lowers your whole look at life, and it makes you want to just sit on your toilet for 20 minutes more.
Yeah, but,
no, but it's
Right.
like this.
it's a good point. But let me tell you something real quick. Oh, that's the buttermilk, the easy
No, this
drinks.
is off-world Java.
Off-world Java.
But I
I
do
was
have buttermilk.
perfectly, I
Go
was
ahead.
perfectly happy to pay what I pay for it because I thought it was a fair price and
Right.
was the price that Hot Toys was selling without any problem. But at least I hope that it would maintain its retail value,
Mhm.
not devalue like this.
What do you think,
And
Aries? I
Hot,
see you.
and
Oh,
as
hold
a
on,
brand,
continue.
Hot Toys doesn't like this too. As a brand, it devalues the brand.
And then you don't want to pay $240 for the next figure. It just becomes
Exactly.
no.
Because then new collectors will think that the value of a hot toy is 150, 140.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem right there.
Thank you. That was
Yeah, but
good.
remember, for now, because it's in stock. But I want to hear Aries on this one. Do you think that's this? I mean, Commander Crew, I think nailed it on the comment. I actually kind of agree with that. You know, I guess because it's becoming, it's good to be popular, but I think at this point, you know, now we can get figures so cheap, and of course, it's not hard to sell that cheap. It's the resellers.
Mhm.
But if you think about it, this is something that is in stock right now. But what happened when it's sold out? Do you think they're gonna continue selling for 140?
Yeah, no, I think that both, you know, Commander Crooks and Beskar Kids prior comment you had on, they have, I believe, a lot of truths in them, and I want to take us on even another spin off of Beskar Kids, and Commander Crooks' a comment here on what I think is possible that, you know, some other scenarios to try and fit in, going to, you know, and how this ties in to Beskar Kids comment, that is true. I've been collecting for such a long time that I know, hey, I really, it's a lot of fun to know your collectible is worth so much. Haha, I chased this figure or I bought this figure and now it's worth so much more than what it was at retail. I feel really good. But then I know also that with toys, and that's the key word, that is going to be very volatile and very turbulent, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be as safe as your 401k. I could guarantee you that. Number two, when you talk about this here, I feel like Hot Toys finds themselves in a very unique situation coming into the third decade of existence. I say that in one way of looking at it, Commander Crook is correct. In another way of looking at it, Hot Toys is by far, in my opinion, though, when you look at toys, the absolute most elite, and I mean elite, toy manufacturer in the world, in the galaxy that I know of. You have to remember, they are not a statue company. They are not that type of high-end company. They make action figures that look like nothing ever before seen by toy collectors. When I show this to friends and friends that have been around for decades and their wives and their kids, and they get a look at one of these Hot Toys, they're like, this is not what we see at Target, baby. It's not even what we see in Spencer Gifts at the mall, baby. What the heck is this? It's like something you'd have to go pay to go see in a wax museum. And here's the thing with toys, tying this all in. Everybody since the beginning of time has been trying to recapture the toys of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. How do we get, oh, the G.I. Joes are worth so much. Oh, some of those Megos are worth all so much on the card, in the box. Oh, would you look at that Robbie the Robot, still mint in box, you know, all this time. Look at that Star Wars 12-back Stormtrooper, which is a piece of junk figure, but people will go spend $6,000 for it. You want to talk about elite? Anything in the vintage Star Wars realm blows away.
That's because of the rarity.
Because of the rarity, but they're still junky. And they're just toys. And what we try to do, and what collectors have tried to do, and what manufacturers have tried to do, is recapture that magic that people get infatuated with toys And it has failed for the most part all through the 90s, the 2000s, up to now. You have the vintage collection, which has been very, very ingenious by Hasbro, which is actually some of those figures go for over $500, some of them close to $1,000, nowhere near where the original vintage counterparts are, but they did a kind of a nice job on there. I will caution people to be cautious because they're already reissuing, and they are reissues with that retro collection. A lot of the vintage figures from earlier in the day. It's a toy. So I think Hot Toys finds themselves, Dante, in a situation where they're in a very unique spot, but in a way, when you relate it just to toys and not to higher end collectibles, they are elite. That going back to, I've collected, going back to Beskar Kids a comment, you can get some stuff from the 90s and the early 2000s that you would spend $100, $200, $300 for. You can't even get $3 for it now. So I agree. You only collect to what you love, and you hope to get your money back. But to Easy's point, and I think it was the point you were trying to make, you don't want your hot toy to go down to $10. That's a little depressing, and I've seen that before in collecting, which is why you follow the market. It's not going to do that, but it's
Right.
It's just good. It's just good business to hold value. I mean, would you like to see your car, like when you trade it in? You don't go in there and be like, just give me whatever for my car so I can get the new one. No, like we're a capitalist type of people here and living in this country. It just doesn't make sense. And it's not we're trying to make a buck. It's we're trying to keep our little personal economies going. If I can sell this for $2 or close to what it cost, I can get the next one and just keep it recycling. And that's how you have a little healthy ecosystem going on within your little collection. If you're fine and dandy spending whatever, whenever, and however, fine. But a lot of the people needs to recycle, and that's how we go through resets. And I even go through resets and purges just to keep things, circulating and well balanced. Mm-hmm. Now seeing that troopers are going for $100 or so bucks, and I'm stuck with these things that like I'm like I don't feel good seeing that it's been decreased so much in value. It just hurts because like, how do you feel like Joel was saying, spent $240 and now it's going for $140? It sucks.
Yeah, but also we need to take into account that
we're just watching our back pockets, and it sucks when a company depreciates that hard because of.
No, finish your thought, my friend.
No, you're good.
No, it's a good point what you said, Easy. But at the same time, I think we need to look at this in two ways, right? When something is released right now, today, for example, let's say it was released in Hong Kong, $250. Now you wait 3 weeks, still in stock everywhere, and now this reseller is selling for $140, right? Of course, it's gonna hurt, right? Especially for the people who bought it right away. It's like, oh shoot, look, I spent like. I should have waited 3 weeks and get it for $100 cheaper, right? But now, if that same figure is sold out, there's no way in the world these resellers are going to sell it for $140. No way. They're probably going to sell it for double or triple the price. So what they're doing is they're taking advantage of the stock that is here sitting, waiting.
It's simple supply and demand.
Exactly. But when it's gone, do you think they're going to sell something that is sold out for that money? They will never do it.
You should have bought it in the first place. If you want to be that outlier of people that didn't know about the collecting hobby, I mean, there's no way to make everyone happy.
Don't get me wrong, it sucks.
Yeah, and the reality of this, all of this is opinion based. What it means to be a collector is an opinion. So there's no right or wrong. And I see a lot of people talking about, oh, well, not everything's a grail, and you don't just go into the collecting to flip it. Well, the value of $1 is different depending on who you ask and what your background of life is. I would sit outside GameStop during medical school and flip Pokemon plushies so that I could buy Taco Bell on Thursdays. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I spent my time doing. So when I see something depreciate by $50, that's upsetting to me regardless. And the reality is no. I don't buy my collectibles knowing that I'm going to flip them, like the Jim A. Palace Doflamingo behind me. That's doubled in value. That doesn't mean I'm selling it. but I'd be very upset if it went down in value, because the reality is, again, everybody
day.
comes from a different background.
Mhm.
And if I'm someone that comes from a background where money was scarce, and God forbid something happens to me, I want to know that my luxury hobby of collecting and spending a ton of money is safe, and I can unload it to protect myself and then get back in it when I can. Because I can't tell you whether it's true or not. Some are true and some people just try to take advantage of it. I can't tell you how many times someone's written me and been like, hey, just got diagnosed with cancer, just got hospitalized. I need to cancel these orders. I need to sell this. I need to sell that. Guess what? If your figure is worth $100 that you spent $250 for, that's pretty shitty. And if you're investing in figures and you don't care about the value of them in 2 years, you're living in a different life than someone who has to scrounge for money or just has a different background. Not everyone is rich that buys into this. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Most people are middle to low class that collect. They just spend a lot of time saving the money for the figures they love. And that's also a passionate, true collector.
Right.
If I'm working, and I'm not trying to insult anyone, I'm just comparing salaries. If I'm working in Walmart as a bagger versus someone in anesthesia, that dollar hit on a figure is going to hit me differently. And that's the reality, because your salary is far different. And it takes you a lot more of personal invested time to make up that devalue compared to someone that comes from money. They're both collectors that love the character, but the value of time is different. And that is where devaluing a market and product can seriously affect your interest in a hobby. Because I guarantee you, you can go buy a Funko for $5 and get that much joy versus buying a $250 figure that devalues for $150. I didn't start Comic Concepts because I wanted to make a shit ton of money. No offense to anyone, I already do that in medicine. I can work overtime and make more than I do in Comic Concepts. I got into it because I wanted to bring luxury goods and collectibles to people for an affordable price. And if I'm hurting financially because the market's devalued, I value my time. I'm not going to spend that extra time selling figures that are now devalued because I'm hurting myself and I'm hurting my interest in the hobby. And that's as a retailer that's also a collector. But the reality is, collectors come from all walks of life. It is an elite figure company. That does not mean it's inaccessible by certain folks. Everyone works a certain amount to be able to afford the collection they have and the memories they feel strongly about.
Right.
That is the reality. You can't just look at the two extremes and be like, oh, if you're thinking about value, then that's it. Or, oh, if the figure devalues, it's not worth it. That's not how it works. There are mixed mindsets here and opinions. Right. And that's why I hate talking politics, because so many people say Republican or Democrat. I don't even know the goddamn difference between the two, because it doesn't really matter long term, because there's too many opinions to focus on a single key point. The reality is, this is a luxury hobby. No matter how you look at it, this is a luxury hobby. But again, for the fifth time, it all depends on what you value your time as, and that's dependent on how much time you put into your life to make that dollar. That's my opinion.
And that's why I love Josh. That has to be...
Nobody's wrong in this. But there's so much more complications that I can't understand certain people who collect in the same way they go viewing at me. Everyone is completely different in their value of figure and dollar.
Right, but let's be clear on this one before I address the super chat. Let's be clear on this one. Everyone has their own definition of collecting. Everyone values their collection the way they want, period. We're not here to change your mind or to tell you, okay, I'm right. No, we don't do that. We just kind of expressing our opinions only. So whether you agree or not with us, it's fine, because this is a hobby. We all love collecting, right? We buy figures because we love it. And to Josh's point, it is true. So, depending on how much you make, you can afford certain things. If you want to get into this hobby, you don't make as much. Oh, guess what? You're going to work overtime. You're going to save money to get it. And that's the beauty of it, right? That you have the opportunity to do it as well. It might take a bit longer to get something than maybe other people, but still, is your collection, is what you like. Now, the market is changing, and that's a fact. A lot of things are changing. Shipping, resellers, prices going up, prices going down, prices all over the place, But at the same time, we as collectors have the chance of selecting where to buy from and, take the risk or not. That's simple as that. But I want to address this super chat. Cobra's collection says, first and foremost, we collect 1/6 scale because we love the source material of those toys. If you're in the hobby to make a quick buck and flip, you're in the wrong hobby. And I do agree. I mean, if you want to get into this hobby just to flip stuff, you're really not a collector, right? If you just buying and selling, it's more like
I don't think anybody actually gets into to make a quick buck. Nobody's getting into this hobby
but
because they like it, but they can't afford it, and then they're trying to balance out and try to make ends meet. And that's why I'm saying this whole ecosystem going on. If you keep releasing, Mark 85s 85 times, yeah, it's gonna get a little hectic, and it's gonna get worrisome because everything starts to sell for half the price, and then you trying to make a living and enjoy your passion, you've already dug into that rabbit hole. It's going to be real tough, and I think that's where it's hurting a lot of collectors. It's the reissues are devaluing, like once a grail, now a snail. It's hurting some people, and of course, when you get hurt, you're going to be emotionally putting out. And now these people are coming out and saying, I'm going to take your family and do things.
And I'm not going to go on a full rant. I just want to mention a couple things. But like the other side to collecting is the collector base. And I don't know, maybe I'm unique in this,
Riley,
but the way I built my collection is I saw a figure I liked, it appreciated in value, and when I saw that value, I was able to sell it so I could buy 2 more figures that I like. And the other side to collecting, in my opinion, is if you don't come from a lot of money, it's really hard to amass a large collection without flipping 1 or 2 figures that have coincidentally become grails. And that's also how you grow a collection without putting strain on your family or your needs and necessities. And that's also an important fact. The other side to reissues, depending on what the figure is, like, it's kind of like a smack in the face, in my opinion. I think you're really just looking at the collectors that bought this. They trusted in your company. You said it was limited. And then you just said, well, no longer. Here we go. Let's make some more. And you just kind of, you water down your brand, your value of your brand. And again, that's not on everything. That's all I was going to say. I don't want to get into a rant, but yeah.
That was a good point. I know Aries or Joao wants to make a point before we move on to the next topic. I think we spent a lot of time talking about this, and it's a very passionate topic, and I like to talk about this thing. And everyone in the chat, thank you for the comments. I'm trying to flash as everything as possible. Again, this is not fighting with anybody. We're just kind of commenting on the comments you guys have put in there. All of them fair points, so we respect that. Aries, any final thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
No, a lot of good comments here, a lot of truth in all the comments, a lot of truth in everything that everyone here on the panel is saying. I mean, in my view, I feel like some of my feeling is with some of these straight reissues, that can be annoying to some. I feel like that they're going to be few and far between. I feel like Hot Toys has a track record where they have done it before. They have done it They have done it not too far before, and they've done it now. But I don't think it's going to be that often. I think you're certainly going to see your OG Mandos, and then your best car Mandos, and then your chrome plated Mandos, which is really the same figure over and over and over again. Boba Fett repaint, Boba Fett was completely worn out. Boba Fett with something, from the Book of Boba Fett, the last show. You're getting 3 different versions as the same figure. You're going to get that. And they've been doing that with Stormtroopers and figures like that for such a long time. These straight reissues, like the Iron Man that just came out, the same darn figure, is frustrating. The only thing different is the base. I think you're going to get that from time to time, but I don't really feel... I'm hoping anyway that it's not going to be the norm. Like, hey, every 1 out of 5 announcements are going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that dramatic. We'll have to keep an eye on it. So that's kind of hope that I have in it. And the second thing's going to be, when you talk about variants, you talk about like the vintage collection, or you talk about vintage figures, or you talk about even the people like to collect variants. Oh, look, there's a circle on this Boba Fett, and that one didn't have a circle. Or look, that boot has a weird pink color. That boot doesn't. They look for these variants. They look for these things. We see it in the secondary market. For Star Wars, you got a wonderful Death Trooper from The Mandalorian, which is still selling at under $300, but people still want to buy the Specialist from Rogue One for $675 because it has a very, 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 very slight difference, but it's the same damn figure nonetheless. But and I think they're going to produce way, way less, as we're seeing evident with the chrome-plated Chrome Trooper with the 2 helmets gone, as we're seeing with the arena suit Boba Fett. They don't want to relive the conversation that's been occurring over the last year. They don't want to relive giving away all this stuff away. So I feel like the production, like I've been saying, and I think you have been saying too, Dante, for a long time, production is going to be way, way lower. There's going to be more announcements for Hot Toys to make up for the less money. They're getting less POs, but Sideshow will go ahead and take, well, if you give me 3,000 painted this way, and then 3,000 painted that way, and then 3,500 painted this way, I'll take 10,000. But it's going to be 3 different figures. I think you're going to see a lot of that, and I think that that's what's happening.
That's a good point. Before you continue, Easy, and before Joe makes his last point on this one, I mean, I'm going to try to see if I can pronounce this right. He, she, we, big boobs. 999 super chat. Thank you so much for that. That's a big effort. So he says, I'm not as unfortunate as others, and the value depreciation still doesn't bother me personally. I collect to heal my mind, depression, and so that a person isn't stuck cleaning up my remains. Love or happy collecting. It is true. Everyone sees collecting in a different way. At the end of the day, is what we enjoy to do. Whether it's expensive, whether it's not expensive, this is what we love. People cares about the value. Some people don't care about the value, and it's perfectly fine. Everyone has the right and the freedom to do and feel however they want. There's really not right or wrong. At the end of the day, we are into the hobby or any hobby because we love it, and that's what, to me, is the takeaway. We love what we do, whatever that is, and that's what it is, right? But thank you so much for the super chat. Joe, final point before I go to Easy.
No, I don't think there's much to say. Josh and Aries already said it all, and with all very, very good and valid points. Yeah, I agree completely with you. Is if you pay what you pay, and if you are okay with paying the retail price, the only thing I see now is that, and it's affecting the Hot Toys collecting as a hobby, is we see a lot of people not pre-ordering, waiting the stock. We call it the bargain bin, the bargain bin figures, because we are all waiting. Should I pre-order? No, this is going a bargain bin next year. Many people are playing this game, right? Because especially when you see Hong Kong resellers doing those summer sales and weekend sales, that you see figures for prices that you would consider unbelievable, how cheap they are and how cheap they go 1 month after being released. And while I think this, for some people, it's amazing because they can get, let's say, 2 figures for the price of 1, it devalues Hot Toys as a brand. And in my perspective, as a collector, I'm not happy with it. But this is only my own perspective. I would prefer Hot Toys to keep the value as a brand, not to be a bargain bin company.
Mhm.
Hey, if I
Yeah.
could say something real quick before you go to
Sure.
EC,
No.
but it's about he, she, we, big boobs, baby. So listen, he, she, we, big boobs, which is another great name. It's kind of like, where's Hold My Balls?
Hold my balls. Where is it? Where is it?
Anyway, there is some truth to what he's saying there, because I was just talking to my wife about this with some other friends and stuff. There are people who collect, and we don't talk about it a lot, that it's more as a healing way for them to deal with depression. And I have some friends that deal with depression, and it's kind of funny. It's not about flipping. It's not about value. It's just about it's kind of healing themselves. I think a lot of people did that actually during COVID, because a lot of people were suffering from depression with COVID. So I think that that's just a valid point. I think there are some collectors who collect just to work to make sure that and also just to keep themselves centered, because they're dealing with a lot of life and they may not even be paying attention to any of this stuff in market. Just FYI, I'm not saying it's a large segment, but I think there are some.
Yeah, and we are 150 people watching. Please smash the like button here. We're having a very. I didn't expect this conversation to be this great. I mean, you guys in the chat are amazing with all these topics and thoughts. It's crazy, like how everything has evolved. That now we're actually talking about this, and this is how you can see how collectors have evolved the past few years. That now they actually are more responsible and think about all the things that in the past maybe we didn't. We just kind of like follow our passion and just kind of go for it without thinking sometimes.
Yeah, I wish.
And we all made those mistakes. Go ahead, Easy.
I was just saying, I wish I didn't buy this T-shirt. Kind of mistaken.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, you want a 240p?
Hey, look, a bargain bin shirt.
Like
Easy. Do you have my
I
mug?
found this in the little hospital bin where all the kids were sitting. So I was like,
you
"Oh,
guys
free
are
T-shirt."
savages.
I went in butt naked. I came out clothed. Eddie Vasquez says, "Go to church." I don't know where that's from, but I think it's funny.
Amen.
Oh man.
But yeah, I understand how like a lot of people deal with this as a coping mechanism. It's cool and all, like, do what you do. At the end of the day, your money, you spend it however you want. But I think this is Hot Toys is you win some, you lose some. They may be losing a lot of collectors, but at the same time, imagine all those people picking up, pieces at $140. They're getting in this little rabbit hole. They're gonna want the trooper, they're gonna want the squad leader, they're gonna want the variant, they're gonna want ketchup, mustard, and they're gonna be begging for relish.
They're gonna want mace.
They're gonna want mace. They're
Which,
like,
by the way, is happening. Guys, you need to be patient with this one.
Again, Mace.
It's gonna happen. And remember, Aries, you mentioned this many times on your show. Star Wars Celebration or the Attack of the Clones anniversary is the whole year. It's not only the April, March, whatever. It's the whole year.
They made it seem like it ended.
I'm still celebrating the 19th year anniversary of Attack of the Clones. So yes, it absolutely is still going.
It's not.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next topic, because you know what? I want to talk about this figure real quick, and maybe not too many people are fan of this thing. But to be honest with you, when this one was announced, I was very, I was like, okay, it doesn't look that bad at all. I mean, to me, it doesn't look bad at all. I think the likeness is absolutely there.
I think it's
So-
perfect.
So I'm gonna start with Joao, because people complaining already that he's being quiet, and Joao cannot be quiet. So Joao, what are your thoughts about this? Hey, Valkyrie.
No, I mean, if you talk for the figure itself, the head sculpt, I think it looks amazing. I still think, I don't know if you have the photo from JC Hong where he holds the head sculpt in hand.
Yes, I have it somewhere, but not here.
In that photo, seems the paint application can improve a bit. However, I think the sculpt is really good, and the hair, I like the way they did the hair. Looks very, very real. But
Dude, I thought it was rooted hair at one point.
Yeah, I also thought so. The braided hair looks like it's rooted, but I will not pick up this figure. I tried to watch the movie yesterday and I fell asleep.
Really?
It's-
Dude, I
Yeah.
actually like the movie. I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority, but
You like what? Because of the goats?
yeah. Yeah. Dude, that was killing me, man. I was with my
Like
headphones.
you.
Yo, that was like, I feel like Josh was laughing. Oh man, that was nuts.
No, I can understand if you like the movie. I mean, if you watch it just for entertainment purpose.
Exactly that I
and
watched it. That was, I guess that was my mindset when I was watching the movie.
yeah, I didn't like it that much. I fell asleep, but well, and yeah, the goats didn't wake me up. No, but talking about the figure itself and seeing that this movie actually doesn't have a very high rating, but you already have 3 figures from the movie, right? You have the Thors and you have now Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for the figure looks really good. The head sculpt, I think it's up there after Riva. That I still think it's the best one, the best head sculpt I've seen lately.
Mhm.
This one looks great too, and it's amazing if you are collecting these Love and Thunder. You can have 3 figures. I don't know if they are going. They didn't Valkyrie. No, they didn't make the horse. There's a third party doing the horse, I think. But yeah, looks cool.
You know, I do agree with you. Mr. Aries, have you seen the movie? Do you like this thing?
You know, for me, this is such a huge, awesome representation of Tessa Thompson. This is the stuff that I mean, this head sculpt, and when you see even the pictures, and I think that they should move towards not even using these people who help them with these backgrounds. They're not as good as some of the people that put up some of the Instagram photos in this community. Just release these prototype pictures and these announcements raw. Show them like you know, when you go to Secret Base and just take a camera and roll it, because this figure, in my opinion, is absolutely unbelievable. She looks so damn real, and coming off the heels of that incredible, equally as incredible Riva, the third sister from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This is the kind of stuff that really is the magic of Hot Toys. If they continue to do this, it's I mean, you put this in your hand and it's like this figure, and for $270, gosh, absolute fantastic. And I'll say this, I thought, you know, you mentioned about the hair being rooted, but I tell you what, that is something that I believe Hot Toys is going to dive into, because the only thing that these figures are missing from being at complete miniatures, you take that Alec Guinness head sculpt, you take the you know, some of these other pieces like that, and you actually could put in the sculpted hair, but actually make it to be really good, not like some of those old sculpted hair work. If they can do that, this is like having an actual person in your hand minus the organs. I think this is a work of art. I think it's absolutely
Minus the
fantastic.
organs.
Minus the organs.
I mean,
I
mean,
love
come
the
on, look,
organs on this one.
It looks so. You didn't play with Pulsar when you were a kid, my man. Come on. Anyway,
Gotta fix them, boys.
but yeah, this is she's awesome. I mean, I think this is a 10 out of 10.
You know what? I do agree with you. They nailed the freaking likeness. Easy, do you do a better pass for this one?
I mean, it goes for liking the actual character. Like, I feel a lot of people actually like this figure on top because the character is awesome. You look at Riva, very controversial figure because it's so good. It's such a nice
the likeness is
figure,
amazing.
but no one likes her because, you know,
the character.
It's poor character development. So not really the most famous of characters. So a lot of passes. This gets a lot of buys because it's a good character. Like the character development, we've seen her grow throughout the movie. Like it's cool. Like she's cool, you know? And like I absolutely love this character. I think Valkyrie it's freaking awesome. And to see this be utter perfection, I mean, with the hair and everything, is just insane.
It's really good.
it's really like Hot Toys. Sometimes when they capture a character so good, you can really see the human essence in some of these figures. And I see exactly what Aries is talking about, minus the organs, because this looks like a real picture of her. This, like, it's
that's some of the best sculpted hair. Yeah.
If somebody shows you this picture like that, also look, oh my gosh, she looks so good. I love her hair. Well, this is a figure, actually. Really? They would, dude. This looks so freaking amazing.
Go back, Dante, to the picture before, and the one with Thor in it, that you had up. So easier to talk. I mean, come on. I mean, that if you could do a good rooted hair job on that Thor figure, it makes it. I mean, you could tell. You could look at that. And that looks like sculpted hair. I mean, you could tell. It's not. It's like if I put a sculpted, hair on here.
It depends though, because at this scale, it's very hard to do rooted hair because either in one, you're gonna be paying way too much, or two, it's gonna be really bad.
But InArt's doing it, right? So that's probably
InArt's doing it, but then charging you for it.
Right.
So this is the problem. I love what they're doing here. They're making sculpted hair look rooted. They're making sculpted hair look real. And I just looked back at my Alec Guinness, and I think even that type of hair looks good. I think even this looks good. I'm one of those people that prefers the sculpt versus the rooted, because when Hot Toys does rooted, it just doesn't look like how their promo shots would look. I mean, when you get it, their hair is all like...
I could pull out my Force Awakens Chewbacca.
I mean, Chewbacca, you have to really crush him. And that kind of hair, because of the way that is, it's very formable. But like the rooted hair they would do on like Wonder Woman or Harley Quinn or something like that, it's doll hair. It's not.
It's like a Barbie.
It's not like InArt's been doing. So when they come and do sculpted hair like this, it's awesome. And I love their sculpted hair, and probably like every single character. I wouldn't have any other, like even their Tony Starks on the Mark 85 Battle Damage. Like the way his hairstyle is amazing. Like I don't think they could execute that with rooted hair.
The best rooted hair I've seen, Easy, was the one on Tamora Morrison. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's perfection. I agree with you. Perfection.
I was just looking at that. I was like, the hair.
That
one doesn't have.
Look at this. He's like, what? What?
But I'm looking at my different ones. I'm like Rex, Cody.
Oh yeah, you got Rex and Cody.
Right. And Easy was like, yeah, I agree. The hair is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because like Qui-Gon Jinn, if he had rooted hair, like you go back on the Sideshow one, and it's all weird looking. I think it was Sideshow. I remember had a long time ago. It looked like a doll hair. And then you look at Hot Toys' rooted hair, and it's like long hair, but they've done it.
Can you imagine?
It's like PVC.
Can you imagine Qui-Gon with a mohawk? It'd be even more badass if he did that.
Yeah, we need that.
That'd be great. I'd buy that.
But I think overall looks good. Josh, any final thoughts about this release, and how much is still going in Comic Concepts? If it's
260 at Comic Concepts, and we also have the estimated shipping already there for you, so you're gonna see everything it's pulling right from our
that's
UPS
estimated
account.
shipping's already there.
Yep. There's a lot of bugs on the site. We'll talk about that later, but yeah. The only thing that I liked on this, or let me rephrase that. The other thing I liked on this figure, we've already talked about the head sculpt enough. I really like how well they hit. It's not really hidden, but I think it's hidden enough that you don't worry about the seam line on the arm, because there's armor there to cover up that line based on her character. Whereas every other figure that I've seen, there's always some sort of clothing or there's an armor piece there to make it look like, okay, the arms are just coming out. I think they did a really good job with the arm being, posable and the seam line not being so showy versus what it would be. You know what I mean? I think they did a really good job on it. Obviously, there's going to be a seam line, but I think it looks really amazing for what it is.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think they did a really, really good job.
Yeah, whatever the fuck he said. What a weird comment.
Grape, you suck.
My poor Josh, thank you so much for
Stupid
that.
statue collector.
Pikachu, Mario.
Pikachu doesn't
Alright,
even sound like
so
that.
let's move on to the next
Okay, you want me
topic.
to sound like Pikachu?
Who-
Pikachu.
Stop.
Why?
That
Make me.
was awful. Don't ruin my childhood.
You want to see some Pikachu foreskins?
Okay, who wants churros?
What the
Huh?
heck?
Churros.
Yeah,
How do you go from
churros.
foreskins to churros? Oh, okay.
Churros. Let's get some churros.
Spider-Man.
So
Okay.
okay,
Good,
so this is gonna be the D23 exclusive, right?
Yes.
Joao, you mentioned that to me, so I'm gonna start with you then. Why?
Why?
I mean, nothing against Spider-Man at all, but why they decided to go with this one as a
I thought it was
D23?
funny.
I think it makes sense to be a D23 exclusive, and again, it's the way now Hot Toys is doing stuff. If you remember the Captain America, the D23, that was also a very limited release, and everyone was going crazy searching for these. And this Spider-Man now, you go to Facebook, everyone is asking where can I get one, because this you only can get at Disneyland parks.
And just a little hint, that's why people want it, because it's rare.
Exactly. There you go. That's exactly my point. So
Surprise.
it wouldn't make sense to do this as a worldwide release. So I think being a D23 release, it's amazing. I will not get it. I will not have chance to get it. I already know. But I would want the churro for sure. I would want to have a churro in my collection, only as an accessory. But the Spider-Man looks
It's cool. Someone's already
cool.
working on the third
Looks
party
really
churro.
cool. I think the
Churros.
Spider-Man
They
looks
probably it's probably already out. They saw it this morning and they got to work. Guarantee it.
So this is
My
released
God.
already.
Yeah, he's already on stores. You can many people are already sending photos of the boxes. They are already ready to pick up at the convention. I don't know where is it, but yeah, it's good.
Mm. Easy.
They can keep this over there. They can have it all. I don't care for it. I want the churro.
Why you are so
Everyone wants
negative?
to.
Because why would you like you release figures like this would be an actually cool release for everyone, right? I mean,
No.
I don't think there would be demand for it. The
Yeah, this
only
will be
reason
a
there's
bargain
demand is
bin.
because D23
because
is
this
tagged on it.
because this is more of a movie product, right? And for most of like I got a lot of messages. People are like, how do you get this figure, and they want it. Do you think this is a good difference from Homecoming, or would this be? I'm like, you probably won't be able to get it anyway. So people want it. Like I've had people message me telling me they want this figure, but like, how do they get it? I'm like, you probably
Well,
can't.
most people want it to flip. They think it's going to be rare and
Well,
it's going
of
to be worth
course.
money.
Well, some people have been saying it's because they missed out on like Homecoming ones. They want to get this whole like high school Peter look, I guess. And I think it would have been a good release for everybody.
Yeah, I can see that too. Mr. Aries,
Mr. Dante.
anything about this figure? Were you surprised that they can announce this as a D23?
The price is already out. It's
no.
330 or 320.
It's in the
something like that.
threes?
I think, or 300. It's 303 or 330,
Wow.
something like this.
It has organs.
I better have some genitalia.
No, I'm not surprised. I think that they're going to be doing a few different things here. Again, lower production, but more volume of actual releases coming out. Just lower, again, as we're talking about, low supply, high demand, feeds into the hobby, feeds attention into Hot Toys, looks good out there. People always want what they can't get. You get this in a lot of other collectibles too. You're like, oh, I was going to get this, I was going to get that, and then you wind up being on the site. You're like, well, I think I'll just pick this up because those aren't available. Sometimes there is an adverse effect where you wind up picking up a figure or a collectible you wasn't even on your docket because you can't get something else now. So it's a way to kind of feed that animal as well. It's just business is what it is. But I think you're going to see more exclusives like this. I think that there is, like, you have that sideshow. What is that? Best Timber coming on. I've never seen that before. You're probably going to get an event every month from Sideshow, I think. And I think that they may be possibly, with Hot Toys as one of their items, maybe that Chrome Stormtrooper that everyone thinks may not come here to the States. That could be part of the Best Timber. You never know. But I think you're going to have more exclusives, like this expo, whatever this is here. And I think that you're also going to see it with some regular releases that have nothing to do with anything or any exclusive. They're just going to be lower runs because they can't. I just think that's what you're going to see. I think it's completely changing.
I see TK592. They said, what if they release without exclusive accessories? Men assured attention mentioned Showbook. But I kind of pick up off of TK592's comment that I don't know what he means, but they should release accessory packs. Like Luke, remember they said he's going to be released with like an.
It's not worth the money.
Like Grogu, like Grogu. That
Grogu was an accessory pack. They've done that before. Why don't they like?
Well, they've done it with whole Buster
because it didn't do well. It did horrible.
What? The Grogu accessory pack
don't sell versus the production costs.
But Grogu came with every single Mandalorian, though. I mean, these accessories don't come with every Spider-Man, nor does like the diorama base for Mark V. So stuff like that. I mean, so many people wanted so many different switch outs for Luke.
But how many people need to want to put in the money to license and produce it?
They don't know yet. They haven't even tried it. And they've mentioned accessory packs like it's coming, but it's never there.
It's like how many people
you can just slap on a D23 and release a figure you already have the rights to.
Like N1.
I mean, you could release an accessory pack and force them to buy a Spider-Man that they don't
see.
need.
That's the thing. That's the thing I don't want them to do. I don't want them.
Well, they're making way more money doing that.
So that's why I defend myself, and I'm saying like Hot Toys is screwing up. So that's where I'm coming.
They give you a churro, man. What else you want? Before we continue, 145 people watching. Please hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes, guys. Come on. The show has been fun. We have really good topics. Now we talk about Spider-Man, and if you guys notice something about this thing is that we don't have spider webs. No spider webs, but we have churros.
Hey.
We have sodas. We have textbooks. We have flyers and a sweater and a backpack and a spider. And a bunch of eyes and hands, but no spider web.
Maybe
which is good.
There's no need.
They didn't even show
People who are buying these already have Spider-Man figures.
Exactly. So what do we need more spider webs?
But sometimes they don't show something, just slip it in the box anyway.
Yeah. Let me first choke the like, as my friend Tully will say. Hit the like button, guys. Let's get to 100 likes, please. Come on, you guys can help me. Help me out, please. Help me out. 142 people watching now. 77. Keep going. Let's get to 100. Josh, final thoughts about this. Could you give me one?
No.
Thank you.
No, honestly, like it's nothing against the figure. I always thought it was a great figure. I just genuinely believe it's literally just it's a reissue and titling it D23 with a couple accessories and jacking up the price. And they know how to play collectors. It's super easy. They just remake the same figure they have and throw on in a couple accessories, and we'll slap it on and say it's an exclusive or a convention requirement, and it'll sell for a lot. And that's it. I mean, I don't get the appeal, but it's the same reason I also don't collect PSA 10 Pokemon cards versus PSA 9. I don't get it. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, that's what I was saying, though. Everybody is different. Every collector is different, and this has its niche. It's not for me, but there are collectors that want it. King is the castle.
King of the castle. Where were we?
Do that.
But to me personally, I just think it's a reissue with a slapped-on logo and an exclusive slap-on.
Rainbow Charizards are just different arts with the same thing. What?
It's like the people that spend $40 million on a white painting. Just a plain white painting.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic real quick. So, how does Boba Fett repaint out? Is it out already?
Mm-hmm.
It is, like my friend Joao said, and I'm gonna start with Aries on this one.
Mhm.
So this is one of the signs, people start getting the repaints. This is not really an officially released yet in Hong Kong, but Sideshow is already shipping it out.
Mhm.
Somebody got.
Does this surprise you?
No. There's too many things going on that make it a coincidence. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire. And even if and the truth somewhere lies in between. So there's definitely something going on. And this is part of their adjustment to A, try and survive, B, try to adapt in this COVID environment. Again, I think that we are basically in like a global recession. There's so much going on, and they're trying to compete overseas. Obviously, I think we know what this is here. So no, I'm not surprised by this at all. We'll have to see how much more that this happens with on some of these figures. I'll be interested to see how many of this that they made or with these figures for this year. But I think that the figures that are going to be coming out in 2023, I think we may see a huge difference, like you're seeing here. Some of these coming out, getting shipped out before we even get the final production photos, figures that suddenly go out of stock, like the Mud Trooper. You're going to see some of that, because if it's just a one-off, it's not really going to do anything, and it's only a matter of time before it just goes kapooey. So I think that they're trying to reset. I think they're trying to reform the line, and I think that they're trying to march on. We'll see what happens, but no, I'm not shocked by this at all. We'll see how much more it happens with other figures. Looks good.
It looks darn good, and usually, as I will say, baby steps, right? This is a small change. Hopefully, this is a pattern, because we collectors want to see our figures right away, and we want to get them as soon as possible. Joe, you share this. Credit to the person who took these pictures. I don't know who did, but credit to the person. If you're watching, please, this is your picture, not mine at all. So credit to whoever did this. Were you surprised when people start getting this? And funny thing is that we spoke about this on Tuesday, I believe, that the Boba Fett and the Throne is coming out soon as well, and it is definitely coming very soon. But were you surprised to see these pictures coming?
Who?
No, because last week people were already receiving shipping notifications, right? So we were already guessing. Let's see. I thought Thursday, Friday, it will be blogger photos out, and we will release in Hong Kong. The one with the throne, people are already receiving shipping notifications. Most of them saying we'll ship next Wednesday or Thursday.
Ooh, wow.
So they are coming together. It's interesting though. Because I never bought Hot Toys from Sideshow, but doesn't the Hot Toys that come from Sideshow, normally they have the logo on the box, right? The S.
No, that's
No.
only on
No.
certain exclusives.
Yeah, only if it's, yeah.
No, but there's other photo. I sent you 4 photos. I don't know if you check.
Ooh, he sent you more.
There's other
Hey,
photo that is the same figure, but does have that S from Sideshow.
They might put it on the shipper.
Not
They
the
might
shipper.
put it on the
It's in
shipper because the
it's in the
shipper
art
isn't from
box.
Hot Toys. That's made
No,
by
no.
Art
Sideshow.
box.
He did.
This goes to show you though what perspective means. Because I'll be honest with you, I know we're complaining about the Iron Man. This is a straight reissue of the one that just came out, not the two.
Ta-da! He said it, not me.
It's the same. It is the same figure, but we're not complaining about it. It's the same damn figure.
I was about to say that. I was waiting for my turn, but there you go.
Anyway, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying it's the same figure.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about that thing with the logo, because the other guy that received his Boba Fett, the logo have the sticker, but the sticker is sideways. Seems they do this in a rush just to ship everything out.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, because again, these Hot Toys don't come in shippers. Sideshow makes the shipper box because it
Okay.
also has their set SKU on it. They just get them in the art box, and then they have a company in China who boxes them for Sideshow specifically.
Oh, great.
So they
Yeah, but-
freight in with they put the exclusive on the art box, and then they freight them in with shippers by Sideshow in 3s to 6
I thought the S mean
in
hope.
packs.
Yeah, but can you see how the things, if the things like these, everything will change? Because imagine that it will make no any sense for you to order from Hong Kong first batch, because the first batch
That's the point.
arrives to North America before even it's released in Hong Kong.
But
And
only
all
if you
the
pre-order.
resellers-
Sideshow has
No.
talked to Hot Toys and was like, look, here's the deal. If we're going to continue to give you any kind of business going forward, we can't keep taking these hits. This is what you're going to do. And I'm
now
sure you're like,
imagine the Hong Kong
Josh is
resellers
right.
with all their tickets in hand. They are shaking because what's happening? Why they are receiving goods in North America and we are here with the tickets in hand and
You know,
nothing to
in the
pick up.
end, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't mean to break it up, but I this is funny and I'm laughing inside. And Josh, I'll just ask you that way you can continue your thought. If I was on the Mandalorian season 3 and I had like a cup of coffee in my hand and he had the suit on and I spilled coffee, would they actually make like, wait, coffee stained Boba Fett version? Do you think they do it?
They do a variant, yes.
Yeah,
It would be the art edition.
Sure.
It would
Just
probably
still
be up at
Boba.
the Hong Kong exhibits with all the artistry ones where they do the custom. There would be a special art coffee one.
Let me add this real quick. So, Best Arcade, the reprint without the throne doesn't come with the portrait. No, it doesn't. Only with the throne. That's where you get the head sculpt. No, in this version. This one is only
This
the
version is
figure.
only the suit.
Right. It's only the suit. So very smart how they did it.
And
But go ahead.
yeah, you only get the head sculpt with the throne, and the head sculpt is not the same as the first 2-pack. It's different. The head sculpt is more clean,
Less white, right?
more clean, and is
It's looking different. Yeah.
different.
Look,
Exactly.
right. Remember the areas that we did a show on your channel, I
Yes.
think, that we were
Talk
talking about
this.
the orientation of the eyes. One was to the left, the other one was to the
Mhm.
right.
Hey, it's a variant. It's like that one circle Boba Fett for the Power of the Force line. Anyway,
Yeah, pretty much.
it's
pretty much.
a variant.
Easy, what are your thoughts about this? Go ahead. You want to say something?
No,
John,
I will say just what I said before. It's just the agreement they made. You can imagine if this is keeps going on. Hot Toys is holding a lot the releases because they need the shipping, the containers to arrive to US.
They can afford to hold it if it means they'll lose their investors if they don't.
Yeah.
They are
So-
losing their investors currently. We, as retailers, even though I'm small, I'm not the only one, and I'm not the only one with business sense. We control this market at this point when there aren't people buying. When there isn't high demand from the customers and the collectors, we're the ones in control. And right now, we're not investing. So
I
they
am
have
the
to sweeten the deal if they want purchases from us going
I
forward.
am the captain.
I mean,
Look at me.
this hurts for us in this side. I understand Sideshow side. This hurts for us in this side because, for example, let's say the Batman, the Nightmare Batman and Superman. Okay, we are only receiving it now. It's already shipping in Sideshow, right?
Yeah.
I have my entire batch. I'm actually sending
Yeah.
everyone invoices this weekend.
Exactly. For us,
I shipped
it
out
will
half
only
of
arrive
them
now.
3 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's fair if all the markets can get everything at the same time. Or I can understand that they will hold maybe the Hong Kong release for some days to avoid those first batches sales, right? And that can give a hand to Sideshow.
Yeah.
Because why would you pay $600 for a Boba Fett if you can get from Sideshow for $300, right? Because the first batch is always more expensive.
In the end, I don't think it's necessarily in the collector's best interests. I think based on the current market and the previous releases, Sideshow said something. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think they're in the right.
But you don't think
Because
this
Sideshow is
benefits?
also all the retailers.
You don't think this benefits collectors in North America?
It does benefit them,
Mhm.
but nobody is interested in how from a business standpoint. No one's interested in how China collectors feel about this. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank
It
you.
sucks. Don't get me wrong. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. But no,
Damn, Josh.
I'm not saying that to be mean. It's true.
It's the damn truth.
Parent, or you want me to lie and just be like, we all care about all
You
of
can't
you,
handle the
and
truth.
everything's gonna be fine, and you're gonna be so happy. You're gonna love everything.
So, but you know what? This is kind of true, right? You know,
Why do you bring me
Is-
on?
is they if we in the States, the United States, we start getting the stuff faster, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna buy less to from resellers in overseas. Simple math, right? Why? Because they're pretty much going into the US market to get those customers. That's why Sideshow experienced so many cancellations and so many other sellers, retailers in the United States. So that's the reason why we were moving overseas, to get the figures right away, or to buy at a bargain bin price, right? And that's been a pattern, right? So if they make the change, meaning that in the US you will get your figures as soon as possible, then that not only is going to help the market here, but at the same time, it's going to incentivize people to pre-order, and that's exactly what they want, right?
But that's exactly the point. Is if they cannot sell the first batch orders, which they have a huge profit, that is huge.
That's all their profit. Everything else is breaking
exactly.
even.
Then they cannot do the bargain bin prices, because then they don't have leverage.
Which is
to
the
do
only way
bargain
to
bin
cut off
prices.
reselling.
Exactly.
I
So
say yes, you guys are right.
Yeah, he said
Right.
it.
And that's exactly what they want to do. But again, they cannot do this with every single figure, because it all depends on the character. Just imagine moving a massive shipment right away for a very popular figure. Let's say Iron Man, for example.
I don't
right?
think you guys realize how fast freight shipping is now. I'm getting my stuff in like 3 weeks. Like
Yeah, okay.
there's no
Right.
pile up at the docks. That is a COVID issue that's long gone.
It's almost immediate now.
Yeah, the shipments, they're in dire need of people to ship stuff from China to North America. It takes about 3 weeks. I've brought in hundreds of statues in the past couple months. 3 weeks has been the average wait time.
True.
And that's not even for the fast shipping choice. There's a faster freight rate.
So, like Prime One, I see they just question for me, the legless. How long till that comes out?
So
For you.
Prime 1 releases in small batches. So like
maybe
they'll release
another
their
few
first
months.
batch to hit an estimated release date, and then they'll release over a year, basically.
Mhm. So, Easy, final thoughts on this one before I move on with Josh, and then we move on to the next topic.
It is a repaint, but then it's like it kind of there's
It's a sick figure.
there's a base there. There's a customer base wanting these things, I guess. So like it kind of goes with the Iron Man collectors. Like there's people that want all the different types of Iron Mans, and there's the type of people that wants all the different Boba Fett's, because that's a high, customer base for these characters. Reissues of the same exact paint schemes would not be necessary to me, but I think it's a reasonable release. I think it's one that will sell out, and these will go up in value because it's Boba Fett.
Mhm.
It's not, some random character that they're repainting and just making him look cooler. Like I have trouble thinking that this clone Chrome Trooper is gonna go high in value, or I feel it's gonna be kind of close to retail because it's not that cool. It's not Boba Fett cool.
Right.
Just you wait till they slap a D23 on it and put a sweater and a churro in there. It'd be worth thousands.
You know what's the fact
Bro,
is
bro,
that
Like arena suit Boba Fett. You know how many people are dying to get their hands on a
Dude,
arena suit?
I don't
I'm
get
selling
it.
one.
Dante, chill.
I bet you're selling one. Who needs it?
No.
And I have also
No, it's a cool
the
variant.
clone trooper, Chrome clone trooper selling one too.
you see what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, but
Bargain
it's a
bin
cool
price?
variant. I get it.
$850 plus fees, plus shipping and
I want a
handling,
coupon, damn it.
plus
How much?
Peruvian taxes, and
Wait, how much?
$850.
What?
Yes,
Put it up on pre-order. See if
People
shit
are
for real?
spending $850
kidding.
on those?
I'm kidding. Come
No,
on,
you're
guys. Dude, I need 12 likes to be 100. Come on, guys, please. I'm gonna give you
And
5
$12
seconds
on that
to hit the
crunch.
like button
On the
and
12
and
there.
and give me. Actually, you know what I'm thinking? Like, I want to get to 8,000 subscribers, so I need about, how many I need? Maybe like about 250 subscribers, give or take. So I'm thinking that maybe I do a giveaway. Maybe it could be a Chrome.
Give away
Chrome
your soul
Trooper.
to the devil.
Maybe
You should
You
give
wanna
the arena effect.
that will be for 10,000 subscribers. No, not the arena suit, but it may be other figures. I don't know.
I heard.
But Josh will have to provide the figure because he's very generous. And we only need 8 likes to 100. Come on, guys, please help me out. Help this old fella here. All right. So, final thoughts, Josh. When are you gonna get this figure in stock?
Oh, I don't know.
Dude, next week. I think I'm getting it next week.
With
Damn.
Throne?
We have a ton coming in next week.
What
Like Miles
I've been
Morales.
seeing Comic Concepts getting it faster than Sideshow.
Yeah,
With
because I
Throne?
ordered it day one,
With
so I get a batch. No, we had half our Nightmare Batman like a month ago. Hold on, I'll tell you what's coming in next week. I'll
Tell
tell
me.
you right now.
I'm
Tell
sorry,
us,
Josh.
Happy.
I'm sorry, but this is kind of in your favor with me saying this. But Sideshow shipped out my Nightmare Batman last week. I mean, I got it now, but it just hit me last week.
The only
you
reason
said-
I haven't shipped it is because we're working on an invoice issue.
Oh, you made yourself
Again, story time for later. Nobody look at my emails. Give me a second.
Oh my God, I see Clinton emails. So arena suit, like Commander C something.
Yeah.
Arena suit is
Hold
boring.
on. No, it's my turn.
Read
Miles
your
Morales.
emails.
Miles Morales 2020, Dark Trooper, Winter Soldier, and Zombie Hunter all next week.
I won the Dark
Soldier.
Trooper. Well, I already pre-ordered it anyway.
So like 6 releases next week from us.
What was it? Dark Trooper. What else?
Dark Trooper, Bucky. Winter
To me,
Soldier.
Dark Trooper was cool until I got it in hand.
Miles Morales, Spider-Verse, Miles Morales 2020, and oh god, what was the last? What? Why is that funny?
No, I'm laughing at the comment. Is that the real reason why you gathered us all here to sell your stuff?
Yes. That's
No.
the whole point.
No, I'm
just
not selling.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of
kidding.
stuff is coming in next week. So, yeah, remember that if you I'm not plugging myself. I'm tired. I'm not gonna
Yeah, we can see you tired. All right, so let's move on.
You
Last topic.
You need to change your little website link. There's no more EN on the end.
England. What?
It's comic-concepts.com/EN. There's no more EN.
Okay, okay,
Miss
Mr.
Worldwide
Ian.
thing now.
I
Ian,
just wanted to tell you while we
who's-
were live.
who's Ian? All right, so let's last topic. I'm gonna start with Easy. I know Easy, you're very happy with this because this is again, it's not a reissue. It's a 3.0.
Yeah, because they took
Didn't
out
this
some things.
just get announced a couple months ago, though?
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
that's not okay in my
This to
opinion.
me, this to me,
It's not
and
okay.
this is just. I'm gonna talk about just me. This is the stupidest release
Hey.
that you can
That's a
think about.
slap in the face for sure.
It's to me this is offensive to collectors because we still have the reissue of the Mark 5. Now they have another one with just the
Yeah,
diorama.
and you can't reissue this immediately after this.
After you
just
open
shipped
pre-orders
out,
for a figure.
and then you say, "Oopsies, forgot to add that diorama base. Let's do it again."
But it's exclusive.
Third time's a charm. Third
not
time,
right.
this time is a harm. Like this hurts. This is
hurts.
very bad for Hot Toys. This is a very, very one of the worst. I feel like this is a Tony Stank move. I feel like this is something like they just threw out there and they're expecting us to just take it. No, like
Yes.
this is
The reaction was pretty bad online.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't see how
I
they
think-
said we're gonna go through with this.
yeah. I think
It
this.
doesn't
I
matter
think
what
timing was not
territory
the
the
best.
exclusive is. The issue is people pre-ordered their product, again, trusting in their brand, and before it's even been made, they release an exclusive variant that people could have put their money in instead.
You know how bad
rude.
this would be if this was a statue community?
that company would be going out of business next week.
That company would be done.
Yeah,
they would be
it could ruin
done.
a company.
And when you talk about elite collectors, and if Aries, you made a good point as to how Hot Toys is elite. When you think of 6 scale, Hot Toys are elite collectibles. Look at this item, right?
I'm
That's
shocked they did
nowhere,
it.
huh?
I can't understand the reasoning of doing it though.
It just makes no sense. I
I
don't
mean,
know
the armor
where
looks
they
really
got-
cool, though. You know, just give it to it.
it's-
But
it's Iron Man.
Of course, the armor looks cool. That's why they released it.
no.
3 months ago.
The diorama, not the armor. Diorama looks good.
But that's the whole gimmick. This is
That's
almost.
the point.
I call
It
this.
does look cool. That's why it's insulting.
It's fine, but it doesn't. It's not that cool to the point where you have to buy it again after buying it 2 or 3
Right.
times.
So then they should have. What they should have done is, instead of doing a reissue, just do a 2.0 and include this base and call it.
I wouldn't even do a 2.0. I mean, it's still an insult. You're releasing the figure again. I mean, they don't have to. They can call it peanut butter and jelly, and they show Iron Man Mark V on a dioramic base. I'm still going to be like, dude, we just got this, and now you're thinking of dioramic bases. I don't know if this is their attempt to start picking up their game and go into the NR, Queen realm and start competing and bring in their A game with some really good figures.
I still
Or
think this totally different.
This is just like a dumb mistake. But then I'm like, multi-million-dollar company, dumb mistake. How do you? It's how does this even pass through? And I'm even to the point where I'm just like, this is a scam. This is a Ponzi scheme. Like, this is almost a scam level of troll. We just got this figure in. Who's going to turn around and say, let's do it again, guys? This time there's 3.
I don't think it's a do it again. I think they have a lot of stock of this figure that didn't sell out. Maybe a lot of stock in the factory overproduced, and they just had the diorama and trying to sell it. Maybe it's dead.
That's another point. Maybe they just, recall whatever is left and just add the diorama. Maybe
I
they
just
have
don't
that in their
understand.
back burner.
Yeah, I
but
don't
this
understand
is
is
like
why
their
it's
company.
exclusive. This is exclusive for some event, because they don't mention in the description why it's exclusive. Just because of the diorama, or is any
They're
event
just
going
slapping
on?
exclusive, so some idiot will buy it.
Someone
And
will
there's
get
a lot of-
excited and be like, "Oh, exclusive."
exclusive. You're going to get that special sticker on it. You're going to get some hologram. You're going to get some hologram of like a churro or something to go with it. And
Churro hologram.
Churro.
don't get it
Churro-
past these
churro
guys. I
hologram.
mean, a 3.0 Mark V, this is insane. This is just a big no from Hot Toys. I don't see how they get away with it anymore. This is one of the points why I'm kind of stepping, my foot's already out the door with Hot Toys. I'm to the point where I'm done. A lot of people be like, "Oh, see it easy." I'm like, "Okay, bye." Like, this is the reason. Like, this type of stuff just shouldn't happen.
Wait until they announce Mace Windu and some cool Star Wars shit. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna get this, man. I'm gonna get that. I love
but
this.
my thing is, I used to be into the point where I'm buying almost every release.
Come on, Chupapi.
Now I'm to the point where I'm just slim picking, and like I have I'm only down to under 30 figures right now, and I've been collecting since 2015, 16. I mean, I'm really foot out the door because of stuff like this. Like, it gets tiring after a while of wanting figures so bad and not having them, and then watching them go into graveyard, and then they come out with 3.0 Iron Mans. Like, you know how many figures are in the graveyard right now? Like,
I
you've
will
never
say,
completed-
and it kind of goes way back to the mainstream comment we were discussing before. I think they make some insane figures, and it's unfortunate that mainstream runs the market, because I think the Iron Man Mysterio's Illusion was one of the coolest Hot Toys releases I've ever seen. Because I got to put it out and look at the accessories, which I don't really get to do often at Dragon Con, and it was so detailed. Like, there were wires hanging off of it and plate parts, and nobody's talking about that. And that's mind-boggling to me. And then you see everyone talking about how excited they are for reissues and stuff sometimes, and just that's there are amazing figures that they release and nobody puts in the money for them.
like Zombie Deadpool. That was
Such
amazing.
a cool figure.
That
Dead
is
Strange.
is
I don't think
even the Illusion
that.
one, the Iron Man Illusion, is pretty sick too.
Iron Man, that's what I'm saying. The Iron Man Illusion is probably one of the coolest Hot Toys I have ever seen. And if I were an Iron Man collector, that would be like top
Trail.
5 for sure of any of the
Well, it's
suits.
pretty sick. You know, I got
the
it,
base
and
is
then
amazing.
I think the best pictures I did was from that particular figure because I used Mysterio, I used Iron Man. But let me move on to Ares on this one so we can continue the conversation. Mark 5. I mean, was this really necessary, Ares?
You know, I feel everybody's plight and frustration and outrage and
We're not.
joy with this too. I think Joao brings up a good point too. Maybe they have stock. I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's this is what I was talking about earlier. To be quite honest with you, that I think that they're going to do stuff like this from time to time. You know, remember the Venom. You know that very similar that happened. You know, with that you know in stock as well. So I think you're going to see this from time to time. But in my view, and that's what I was talking about earlier with this Iron Man,
Sideshow XM Studios.
I think that it's going to be few and far between. But you have seen them do this before, and I think you'll see. I don't think it's going to be all too often, though. Well, at least we can hope. But that's really all I can say. I think I'm not totally shocked, but I don't expect it to happen all the time, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Yo, any additional comment you want to add to this thing?
No, I think we said it.
I wonder if it has organs. That's about it.
Yeah,
No, it's all said and done.
Mr.
Iron Man has organs.
Mr. Comic Concepts. When are you gonna have this in stock?
Ever. It's an exclusive.
Comic
Actually,
Concepts
that's not
exclusive.
true because I've been offered exclusives and I still don't buy them if the market's
You'll
terrible.
probably be offered this exclusive, guaranteed.
I'm sure I'll be offered it and I'm probably not going to sell it.
So
Like I said, I'm taking a stand right now. I love Hot Toys and I love their detail, but I'm not going to just buy for the sake of buying.
no, fair enough. Do you have any sort of news in terms of this figure here?
Ooh, I'm
Me?
lagging.
Yeah, you.
Yay, reissue.
The War Machine reissue? Because a lot of people are asking me about this. When is it shipping? When
No.
is it shipping? But some people said that it's already in the ports. I don't know, really.
You know what? There's actually a way to look up what people bring into ports. Because it's public.
No, this
information.
one is in this one. It was in the shipping manifest together with Boba and with Loki Endgame.
I'm gonna look right now.
So
I don't
probably
remember how to
those are
look it up.
the next ones. I don't know. You know, I think
Josh
possible.
can check that.
I mean, usually, to be quite honest, I'm not told a lot of things. You guys are the ones educating me. Someone just said something about Modulcase. We actually finally got our first batches today. So everyone will.
So is Dante's there?
February through July, we'll be receiving invoices from us, and we are ready to ship your Modulcase.
Is your model cases there, Dante?
They're here.
Oh, Dante's
Really?
ones?
mine's
Dented? What do you mean dented?
no Dante, mine.
Dante.
Dante. Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah, his are in the batch. His Easy's and Dante's are in the batch.
Oh,
Woohoo,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, your
Shit, I have no
Modulcase
money.
are here.
Let me
And a
remove
bunch
Josh
of it.
because I have no more money left.
hey, what were we?
All right, so Josh is
All
left
right.
because I have no more money left.
Finally.
Just kidding.
I was gonna say you kicked me for good news. It's the first positive thing I've said today. and
That's
you
all we
I-
kicked
need
me?
you for. You're done.
Dude, after exactly
telling
after
you.
like months,
Chat-
years of waiting, at this point
No,
I'm so overwhelmed.
no,
I
chat,
don't want
I
it
want you
anymore.
to hear this. These guys bring me on the show just to hear my negative comments and to make me look like a sad sack.
Of potatoes.
I'm a
Potatoes.
victim.
You're a victim. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We actually extended. I wanted to make this show an hour and a half. I believe almost 2 hours. So I want to say thank you, everyone watching at home. We really appreciate the support. And I want to start with Joao to see what's going on with your channel, sir.
Don't start with me. I'm lagging a lot.
Doesn't matter. You're the what the fuck? Chupapi.
All right, thanks.
What's going on with your puppy world?
But I just went to Dragon Con, as some of you may have seen. The video is up. Met Josh there at the Comic Concepts booth, which was pretty cool seeing statues laid out. And I went and reviewed the basically world debut of a public viewing of Infinity Studios Heath Ledger's Joker, which will be behind me. Hopefully, when should we expect him?
I would say still like 4 to 6 months.
Oh God!
What do you mean? Oh God! It's a prototype I got.
Well, send that to Easy.
He just reviewed it.
I just reviewed it at the show. He wouldn't send it to me because he's like that. But he let me review it. But everybody was like stopping and like taking pictures with it. It was awesome.
Someone bumped the table and apologized to it on Friday.
Really?
It was really funny.
Everybody's like, "Oh my God, is that real?"
Like that someone apologized. To
I heard
it.
so many things like, "Oh, like how much is is that real or is like imagine that? That's so scary." I was like, "Yeah, I know,
Get it." That's why we're bringing it to the South.
Oh,
it was pretty cool." But I have the review up. A couple other new figures in. I do still have a 1/4 scale Vader to review, but. Yeah, you can see me attempt to try to kiss Josh and then fail.
I stepped away.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I cut it so you don't really know if he really stepped away.
Yeah.
Right.
Little
You will leave it to the imagination of the viewer, which I kind of like.
I pet his boob though. I got
Oh
that.
my God, this guy.
Thank you.
Mr. Aries, thank you so much for stopping by, man. And what's going on in the cantina, sir?
Well, we're mixing drinks. We're have lots of spotchka on tap. Always brewing coffee, and always hanging out with the Hot Toys Wizard, trying to get some information on some juicy news on what's going to be going on with Hot Toys and what's going to get announced. So we're definitely anticipating a very interesting and exciting September and October for sure. But at the cantina, my friend, gee, what's going on? Sunday morning coffee on Sunday at 10 a.m. Is it possible I'll have some secondary market news? And I say yes. And of course, Monday Night Raw at 8:15. I'll have the full panel in there. So be ready for Monday Night Raw on Monday, 8:15. Sunday morning coffee at 10 a.m. as I just mentioned. What else? I just put my collection tour up of my 1/6 scale and above action figures, all Star Wars. So a lot of people giving me tons of comments and sending me messages on that. You could go right to my channel to see that video, or just go to 6scalecantina.com where I have all the secondary market trends. And I have the video there. You could get right there and get an easy link and see the Dark Jedi's collection tour. That's it. I'm waiting for the Hot Toys Wizard to call me back. That's about it.
That's going to be fun to see. Mr. Joao, what's going on your channel, my friend?
Oh, Jesus.
What?
He is frozen.
He's frozen again.
Can you listen to me at least?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can listen to you.
Okay, so
We cannot see you.
can you see me now?
No, but we can hear you.
Forget it. Yeah, I will have some reviews coming up next week, and I have dropped the Bloodsport Suicide Squad from Soso Toys is up there right now, and that's about it. Thank you for having me, and thanks for everyone in the chat. Everyone was very, very active, and it's always nice to follow up the comments.
Yeah, and very good topics, Beskar Kid, Commander, everyone,
Yeah,
really,
everyone was
really,
amazing.
really good comments, and this is why it gets going, right? When you guys give us the meat, we can talk, and that's the purpose of these shows. Mr. Comic Concepts, thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations on the Dragon Con last week was a success.
Yeah.
And anything that you want to share, to the public. And I know that and we're gonna get a code very soon.
Maybe soon.
Maybe
Hopefully.
soon. we're gonna get a code for you guys. So I will start sharing the code so you guys can get some discount at Comic Concepts website. But come on,
So
what's up?
So I wanted to address, because I know some of you that are watching are customers and collectors. So I wanted to address the whole situation with the new site launch and order history being missing and loyalty points being missing. So the easiest way to put it is we launched with some bugs. The more complicated situation, which I'm actually fine saying this over public because it should be heard. So an extremely long story short, a competitor site or company who I don't know, it's not Sideshow, so everyone calm down. It's everyone's thought always. They're not actually bullies. Someone reported my company to PayPal for selling pre-orders. And I did not know this, but you are actually not allowed to sell by pre-order unless you fulfill it within 7 to 20 days, I believe, on PayPal. And so when business was going really well, and I requested a line increase because there's a limit on how much you're allowed to get into your account if activity spikes. And we were doing really well. We had a lot of invoices come in, etc. And someone reported us for selling pre-orders and got our account locked. And long story short, what happened was, and this was all extremely suddenly, few weeks ago, I get a call from PayPal and they go, "We just wanted to let you know this is a parting ways phone call. We will no longer be doing business with Comic Concepts. We consider your business high risk for taking pre-orders." So what that meant was, and I was researching this, they did it to a lot of companies already, not just Collectibles. They did to a lot of different companies. Someone big who used PayPal as a gateway really screwed them over and went under. And everyone disputed their payments left and right. And every time a dispute is opened, PayPal is charged $200 by the credit card company. So it killed them financially. So they decided to revamp their entire system and pretty much screw over anyone that does pre-orders. And so with no cause other than the pre-order, they locked our account. And then they said there would be no interruption for 30 days. And that any payments that came in would be on hold. So we're like, okay, the site's going to launch soon. That'll be fine. There's going to be no interruption and issues with orders. Then all of a sudden, the next day, they take away the 30-day grace period and they say all your funds for the past 2 months will be held for 180 days because we violated the terms of service. And in case something catastrophic happens to Comic Concepts, they need that as protection. So first off, I'm pretty sure that's illegal because they're even holding funds for orders that have been delivered with tracking proof. So we are actually taking legal action against PayPal. And I don't know how many of you like run small businesses or anything like that, but 2 months of funds collected on invoices, if you don't have that money, that could put you out of business. And while we're not out of business and we're doing fine, actually, we somehow scrounge the funds. All of that money for the past 2 months of invoices on everything is being held for 180 days. We don't have access at all. And we've paid for everything and shipped. So we weren't able to take orders on the old site for like a week. So we were forced to launch the new site in an unfinished state. So what you're seeing, as nice as it is, all of you have experienced some kind of bug. And that's because we were forced to launch in an unfinished state. And the other side to actually leaving PayPal, which is nice. I could have just made another account and been fine. But the reality is PayPal's been having security breaches with financial information. And so we decided to move to Stripe with 3D Secure. And that's going to be a lot more safe for your orders and your payment information. Well, the next thing we're working on is payment plans on pre-orders. Which is obviously big. I know a lot of people have been requesting that. And Affirm Pay so that you can have those pay later options. So we'll have all the old features back in a different payment gateway. And all your orders are safe. We have your order history. I'm working on it being pulled up with the loyalty points from the old coders because when we moved over, the site database is saved, but it's not viewable right now. So that should be done in like a few days. It was literally supposed to be done today, but I want to make sure everyone's orders look right. And I have to cross-check about, and I kid you not, and I've been doing it manually, over 11,000 orders over the past 2 years. So it's extremely tedious. On top of Dragon Con, this was all happening and everything else. So I sincerely apologize that there have been issues with the site. But I hope you like how it looks and how it functions and the estimated shipping calculation, because the goal is to make it an easier purchasing experience. So that has been the chaos that we have been dealing with. It has been absolutely miserable. But again, I really appreciate everyone that's been patient, and it will all be for the better and fixed shortly. But yeah, otherwise we've gotten a lot of amazing responses on the site. So that's good. We'll have coupons soon, and we'll be doing a sale on some stuff to thank you for your patience. I won't say what, and I'm also not going to say to not buy, because we're low stock on a ton of stuff. People are still able to purchase, no problem. So we've been selling out of stuff left and right, actually. Stimulant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I also work a full-time job at the hospital during all this.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, but thank you for the update. We appreciate it. Thank you everyone for stopping by. We have the Boba Fett Arena suit coming this weekend, so stay tuned for that. It's coming to review. I can't wait to do it. To be honest with you, I had the figure for like almost a week now. And yeah, next week we have the 2 shows, the Between Collectors and Collectors Night on Fridays. Anything that comes out, it will be on the channel. Anything that is actually relevant and good. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe to all my friends' channels here. All the links in the description below. And, as always, be well and see you around
the corner.
In the corner. Stay thirsty, my friends.